John Cola with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you and coming at you from downtown Las Vegas. I don't know if they're growing any food downtown, but I'm downtown Las Vegas for a very important reason. It's because today we're at the March Against Monsanto, and I was asked to be a speaker here at the March Against Monsanto, and this is very important to me, you know, talking about GMOs and creating some dialogue. So I want to have a video for you guys with my talk in it, but also go over, you know, some of the things about the GMO free movement that's going on, not only in Las Vegas, but around the world. So anyways, let's go ahead and go inside to the staging area where people are setting up, they're, making posters, and there's a whole like grow your own food festival happening too, and I'll show you guys a little bit of that. So we're here at the March Against Monsanto, and they have all kinds of different posters up trying to educate people about GMOs, because actually most people don't know what GMOs are, believe it or not. And basically, in my own words, GMOs are organisms that would have not been ever created in nature. It's like when you cross genes from salmon with tomatoes, for example, and I think they actually did do that, and genes from, you know, bacteria and fungi and other organisms into corn and soy and all these different things that wouldn't happen naturally. So it's very unnatural. It's like, you know, trying to like a human trying to mate with a fish, right? Would never happen in nature, and I hope nobody's ever tried that either, right? But this is like really unnatural, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of studies that show that it's probably not the healthiest thing in the whole world, and my personal stance on GMOs is that, you know, they should minimally be labeled, right? I don't advocate growing any kind of GMOs, and I want to encourage everybody out there to avoid purchasing them as much as you can. And in the talk that I'm going to give in just a little bit, I'll be kind of going more into this. I mean, they have different statistics there. GMOs are present in 60 to 70% of foods on the supermarket shelves. So this means if you want to avoid that, you need to stop buying the processed foods, you know, things with the corn oil, the corn syrup, you know, soy oils and sugar from sugar beets, things like this. 53% of consumers said they would not buy food that's genetically modified, but yet everybody does because it's not labeled. This is so sad. And 93% of Americans agree that we should have mandatory GMO labeling laws, but unfortunately this is not happening. And when it goes up to a vote in, you know, several states, it failed because the lobbyists and big money spend against and get people to vote against these labeling laws, because the companies know that this will change everything if labeling laws start to pass, and I believe they will one day. Well, anyways, everybody's getting ready for the march. I think we're gonna go ahead and try to make a poster right quick before we march, and I give my little talk. All right, know where your food comes from, grow your own food at home, and I'm not a billboard maker. And thank God that's not my profession, because I've run out of space and I don't plan things accordingly, but this will work. So now we're waiting for the march, and what I want to do now is just take a few minutes to interview some people here to get their perspective on GMOs. And we'll talk to this kid right here. All right, so now we're going to talk to Sebastian. He's 9 and he has a sign that says "Wake Up." So Sebastian, why are you here today?
Because I liked it, because I want to learn about GMO.
And what do you think about GMOs?
I think I should not eat GMOs anymore.
And why is that?
Because when I used to try before in 2nd grade, I got sick.
Oh, wow. Wow, so Sebastian got sick on GMOs, and you know, I don't encourage you guys to eat GMOs, you know, I want to encourage you guys to eat GMO free, and one way you can do this is definitely grow your own food so you know where your food comes from. Let's go ahead and talk to a few more people here at the March Against Monsanto here in Las Vegas. All right, so now we're with Miranda, and she has a cool sign that says GMO, OMG, W2F, but the backside's even better, so it says Monsanto, get the blank out. This is a family channel, so I can't say that. So, Miranda, why are you here today, and what's your thoughts on GMOs?
I'm here today to protest the most hated corporation in the world, which is called Monsanto. I hate them because they're in bed with our government, they're tampering with our food, and they're lying to us, and they're lying to everybody in the world.
Straight up. I definitely agree, man. You know, big corporations are there for one reason, to make a profit, and they'll do anything to make their profit, even if that includes lying and paying off politicians and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I even feel bad for the farmers in India that are committing suicide because Monsanto is charging them for their crops reproducing seed. And so they're in debt for the rest of their lives. So that's why they're committing suicide, so they can save their families from all the debt and the lies of Monsanto.
Wow, it's heavy. So now we're all convening at the beauty bar here in downtown Fremont Street, which is old Las Vegas downtown. That's where we're gonna march at. Several hundred people over here, and I think I'm about ready to give a little speech.
Followers and 31 million views, helping people growing and taking responsibility for the food they eat. So let's give it up for John Cole, everybody.
All right, thank you, Nick, and thank you for everybody having me here. I want to, today we're here to talk and march against Monsanto, and just like Nick said, instead of being against things, I want to be for things, right? What am I for? What are you guys really for, right? We're really for health and for eating real food, right? We don't want this modified foods, and we need to stand against this. So today I want to share with you guys, just some of the steps you can do to make a real change, because as much as marching helps and creates awareness, it really does very little to make a change in the world. And what I want to see is a change in the world, right? And the thing is that big corporations, they don't care about you. They don't care about us. What they care about is the almighty dollar. They'll screw people for money. They'll screw your health for money. They'll screw the world for money. They'll screw the environment for money. They're going to screw everything for money, for profit. But we have the control, because the people at large, everybody here, every American in the country has money, and they make choices every day to spend their money on food, right? The sad fact of the matter is, most of the food in the grocery store, 60%, 70% is estimated, is from GMOs, but people are buying that day after day, week after week. So if you guys don't do anything else, change your spending habits. Stop buying processed foods that may have GMO products in them. Corn and soy products, beet sugar. All these different products that contain GMOs, and it's not just the processed foods that I remove myself from eating 20 years ago that everybody could do. You could also remove the thing that uses the most GMOs, right? It's the animal products. Most of the grain that's grown, the corn, the soy, is not meant for soft drinks, which too many people drink soft drinks, and you shouldn't drink that stuff anyways. But it goes to feed the meats and the animals, and it takes 7 pounds of grains to produce 1 pound of meat or something crazy like that. It also takes incredible amounts of water to produce meat. So you need to stop eating or minimally reduce your consumption of the meats grown with GMOs. Go organic, go grass-fed, grow your own, or just eliminate it because you don't really need it, right? You don't need it. So that's one thing, change your spending habits. Number 2, super important, is take responsibility for the food you eat by growing your own food. The Mormon settlers that founded this valley here, you can go out to their original settlements. They had to grow their own food because there were not big supermarkets, there were not stores. If they didn't grow their own food, they didn't know how. I'm glad that teachers are now teaching kids how to grow food, because Americans, we all knew how to grow food at one point, and now we don't. And that is one method that we're controlled, because we're not responsible for the food we eat. We're dictated to it by whatever is being sold in the grocery store, right? So take that power back, start growing your own, whether you're gonna have your own chickens at home, or like me, I have a whole backyard full of vegetables, and I have over 1,000 plants in my garden right now that I tend to every day, and I grow year-round here in Las Vegas, and I'll let you guys know it is possible. So if you guys want to learn how to do this, you can check me out at growingyourgreens.com. I've educated so many people on how to grow their own food and how to take it one step at a time, because change does not happen overnight. This march is going to happen in one day, but there's 364 more days of the year that you have the choice to vote with your dollars, to vote against Monsanto, vote against big corporations, and take your power back to you. Feed your kids well, teach them well, and tell all your friends and neighbors. Now let's go march against Monsanto. So now everybody's assembled at the courthouse. As you guys can see, there's like 1,000 people here. It's totally insane. Everybody, voting for real food. That's what this is all about. It's about Monsanto and all the other corporations that, are controlling the food system. And you guys need to take a bite out of that and do something about it yourself, because let me tell you, business is not going to do that, and it's quite unfortunate that, you know, in the courthouse steps that legislation is not keeping up, and that, in my opinion, politicians are basically being lobbied by the lobbyists with the big money to make, you know, laws in favor of the companies. So I mean, those things are probably not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. So you guys really have to make the change yourself. I think we're all marching back, and we're going to march down Fremont Street, historic Fremont Street, so let's go ahead and check that out. So now we're here at the downtown Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas, one place you got to come if you've never been to Vegas before. And everybody's marching, just shouting whatever they want. It's kind of crazy. But I want to show you guys this real quick. It's actually next door here in downtown. It's actually called the Heart Attack Grill. And if you're over 350 pounds, you actually eat for free. And I mean, this is basically, they're serving GMO foods that cause heart attacks, aka meat, right? And there have been people in there that have actually had heart attacks when they're eating there. So, you know, I mean, at least they openly acknowledge that, you know, eating that way will give you a heart attack. I want to encourage you guys to not eat that way so that, to prevent you getting a heart attack, you know, now or in the future. Alright, so you guys got to see some of the footage of the March Against Monsanto here in Las Vegas, and it was really quite fun to see like 1,000 people walking around, and a lot of tourists kind of scratching their heads like, what's going on? And I wondered like how many of them really know about GMOs and what it is, and hopefully just because of this march today, some of them will look it up and educate themselves about GMOs and not participate in that whole system, and once again vote with your dollars like I talked about in the speech. Now, I'm really glad that here in Las Vegas, and I hope other March Against Monsanto events ends in what they're doing here, right? It's a grow your own festival where they're celebrating and teaching people how to grow their own food. So I want to show you guys just real quick what they're doing inside. I mean, this place has been mobbed, but what happened was they were giving away little free plant starts and like tin cans and like, you know, cut up water bottles. And there's still like so many people here. Like that there. So as you guys can see, they used to have like a ton of plants here, but I mean, even in like just like old like, you know, water bottle, or actually this is a Powerade, you could grow some plants. This guy looks like he's a bit overwatered. So that's my whole message for today, is to grow your own food and to be the change you want to see in the world, you know, like Gandhi said, right? I mean, stop investing your money in grocery store food products that are processed, that contain GMO ingredients. Stop purchasing, you know, the animal meats that have been eating GMOs. Stop eating dairy products that are also being fed GMOs and being fed GMO hormones to ramp up their production. You know, basically start growing your own food. And I know it's not going to happen overnight for you guys, and I know many of you guys already that are my viewers are already growing your food, and that's great. You know, I want you guys to educate others and help others start to grow their own if they're interested in, and let people sample out your food, because, you know, they will taste the difference. The industrial agriculture system, right, is not doing a good job of producing food. It's picked too early. It doesn't have as much nutrition as it is, and it just, you know, a lot of it just doesn't taste good, and people will eat their food if it tastes good, and homegrown stuff always tastes the best. So if you're also one of my viewers creators that have not yet started growing your own food, I really want to encourage you guys, if you don't get anything else from this video, to start today. Even if you have an apartment or a condo, you can grow some microgreens inside. I'll put a link down below to a video sharing with you guys how to do that. And if you, of course, you have a backyard, you could grow outside, lots of good stuff, and I have over 1,050 videos now sharing with you guys how to do it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, a little March Against Monsanto, my little speech I gave, and some of the things that I shared in this video. If you did, hey, please give me a thumbs up. Maybe I'll be asked to speak at future March Against Monsantos here in Vegas and around the country. Once again, my name is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, keep on growing. Alright, this is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and this episode is probably my last episode from Hawaii. So ahui ho. And that's because I'm actually headed out on a plane tonight. And this is the property I rented actually for the week, VBRO or home